Alright, welcome back to Classics with Kelsey and Sarah, and today we're going to be discussing Under the Lilacs by Louisa May Alcott.
Yes, and this is the pretty copy, and we actually had the same copy that we read out of, like, we found them at separate times, but
both of the, one of the things we often like to compare is like the editions that we read.
Yes.
So, like for instance, we were reading Sense and Sensibility. I had a book that had Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, and it was kind of an older edition. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, and mine was a Barnes & Noble Classics hardcover, just really a beautiful copy with deckled edges on the pages. So
yeah, and I think this is the only book we have that we've had the same edition.
So. I think you're right. Yeah. So yeah, this one's neat. It's got cute illustrations in it too.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see that well.
Yes.
But yeah. And so yeah, this one was a lot of fun.
Yes, so I think we did that. We did that right after Sense and Sensibility, because so it's like we wanted something shorter since Sense and Sensibility was so long. And Louisa May Alcott is also a favorite of ours.
Yes, yes, very much. And this was one that I did not read by her yet in my childhood. So.
Yeah, and I had read it, but it had been many years, so I didn't remember a lot of it. Actually, one of the things, I remember reading it because one of my favorite authors, Grace Hill, mentions Under the Lilacs, and a lot of her, is one of the books that she mentions quite a bit in her story. So
I wanted to read it because I eventually want to read all of Louisa May Alcott's books, and so it was just another one to read, and the story had just always kind of intrigued me. I actually have a very old, and I wish I had it here to show you, but I have a very old copy from the 1880s, and I read a little bit out of that one in addition to reading out of this one, but I also wanted to be really careful with it, because it's a very antique version. But, and so then ever since I got that, I was like, I need to read this story and find out what happens, and I'm so glad we did.
Yes. So it's a story of a boy who's actually lived in a circus and his dog, which was a great element to have. And he comes to this small town and meets Bab and Betty, and ends up kind of getting pulled into their family.
Yes. So Louisa May Alcott, of course, does children very well, and just all of the fun times that they have, the imaginations that they have, and the lessons they learn, and just little scrapes and adventures they get into. And it's a very fun book. And the dog, Sancho, was special. He's a very smart poodle dog, and he can do tricks.
Yes, I think Sancho was really the star of the book.
Yeah, he kind of stole the show.
Yes. Really fun, very loyal to his master. So that
very much.
And I think one of the neat things about it is because a lot of times, you know, the circus is in a lot of the books is kind of like a fun place, and like, but this one showed kind of like it can be really, it could be a really tough place and really bad place, especially for kids. Now I'm going blank on his name. I'm terrible with characters' names.
Oh, the boy's name?
Yes.
Ben.
Yes, Ben. Thank you. You know, because Ben had a really tough life there, and so, and he'd never really had a family life, and he has really a little bit of hard time adjusting to that.
Yeah. So the family he meets in the book is very important to him, and the girls, Bab and Betty, have a very good mother that takes him in and mothers him like he needs.
I love, one of the things I like about in a bunch of the classic books is like a lot of very smart and very loving parents.
Yes.
That's not very popular in a lot of modern fiction, and it's nice to have those good role models.
It really is, and good strong family relationships, and even if not all of the parents are present, the ones that usually are have a good relationship with the sibling or with their children, and then sibling relationships often you know are stronger, I think, than what's depicted nowadays.
And I like, one of the fun things I love in all of her books is just that, you're right, kids and their normal scrapes and stuff, like the normal mischief, not them trying to be bad, but not often, but just like their normal mishaps and stuff. So I think she always captured that well. And
Yeah, I agree. And they usually, and they always learn something. They're always growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I was like reading some of her stuff, Louisa May Alcott, when I was younger, it was really helpful. Like just some of they were good role models, but definitely they weren't perfect people either. I mean, I think we read, I read Little Women like 3 or 4 times when I was younger, because it was just like, there were so many things to glean from that, and so many things that related to real life. And I think this one's as well.
I think so too. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you haven't read Under the Lilacs, I would highly recommend it.
Me too.
Yeah, any age. If you're 10 or if you're 20 or older, maybe a good read aloud book for a family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, and I think next time we're going to be discussing
Shirley.
Yes.
By Charlotte Bronte.
Yes.